Interesting news coming out of Formula One today, and that is that Red Bull are set to replace Liam Lawson with Yuki Tsunoda for next week's Japanese Grand Prix after a poor start to the season for Lawson. As you can see, our reporter Craig Slater is with me in the studio. What's the latest on this?
It's what I expect to happen, this swapping of the two drivers. Lawson moving back to the Racing Bulls, which is Red Bull's junior team. Yuki Tsunoda promoted to the seat alongside Max Verstappen. Nothing is official yet, and I don't expect any announcement on this today. But senior figures from within the sport, even on Sunday night in Shanghai, were telephoning me from the airport saying that this is what is set to happen. And this week saw Red Bull look at the situation to evaluate what they needed to do next. They knew they had to take a decision on this. And ultimately, it's a tough decision on Liam Lawson. He's still a young driver. It's after only 2 races, but maybe it offers him the opportunity to regroup and come again. But that is what I expect to happen, this switch around. And Yuki Tsunoda, who many people thought would get the nod ahead of Lawson over the winter to drive the Red Bull alongside Max, is going to get that opportunity, as I understand it, at his home race.
Some would see this as quite a sort of definitive, brutal decision. He's only had 2 races to prove himself.
It is a brutal decision. I think you're absolutely right. It's tough. It's going to be tough for Lawson to reconcile in his own mind. There's different ways to look at this. On the one hand, is it excessively ruthless? Should they have given him more time? On the other hand, and this is what I understand may have influenced the decision-making process here, or maybe continuing to influence it, is it part of their duty of care to Lawson to perhaps take him out of this situation before it gets any worse? Yes, it's only been 2 races, but he has qualified right at the back in 3 qualifying sessions, in 20th place a couple of times, 18th place. He just about avoided being lapped at the end of the Grand Prix in China. And this is Red Bull's senior team. This is in a car which Max Verstappen is sitting second in the World Championship with still. So what I am understanding is that Lawson has just not gelled with the car at all. Its characteristics do not sit easily with him. And because of that, he's seriously lost confidence over these 2 races. So maybe it's the best thing that he goes and regroups at Racing Bulls and perhaps can come again. It has happened to other drivers, but it's going to be tough for Tsunoda replacing him. He hasn't had the pre-season in that car either, but yes, he is at his home race. And he has been saying consistently that he wants this opportunity. Well, now he gets it. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, well, how exciting for him to be able to go in front of his home fans. It'll be interesting to see what kind of reception he gets as well. But this is actually one of the plum driver spots, isn't it, in Formula One? The second driver in Red Bull. So why didn't they sign a more experienced driver to go alongside Max Verstappen?
I asked Christian Horner the question at the end of last year when Lawson was being confirmed. You could have had Carlos Sainz. He was on the driver market for half the year last year. According to Horner, it was never at the right time. Sainz wanted his future decided earlier than Red Bull were prepared to do it. The other aspect to this is they have a driver program. They want to use the driver program. They do take risks with drivers. That's the Red Bull way. In terms of Lawson versus Tsunoda has this Honda affiliation. Liam Lawson was more obviously someone that would stay within the Red Bull family for a longer period of time. According to Red Bull, the 2 of them were close, and viewing it after 11 races, if Lawson was that close to Tsunoda, surely his trajectory would continue to rise relative to the Japanese. Ultimately, Tsunoda will be Verstappen's 5th different teammate since Daniel Ricciardo left. It's been very difficult for anyone to coexist alongside him, and one of the reasons is a basic technical one. Just to finish, we're in the final year of a system of rules. This had been a dominant car. It had been a car which Max Verstappen had oriented the development according to his particular style, which likes a very pointy turn-in. He is prepared to deal with a loose rear end of the car. That is difficult for others to come in and manage. However, Red Bull's priority is to give him a winning car rather than a car which is easier to drive for the number 2 driver. And that does make rational sense. How Verstappen reacts to this switch around, let's wait and see. Next week, will he see it as a sign of instability at the team or of simple pragmatism? It's tough on Lawson. It's going to be tough on Tsunoda, but let's see if they get an uptick in form as a result of it.
Fascinating dynamics. Thank you very much.